All right, guys, welcome back to the Patch Pod. Hopefully, this may change, but hopefully this is the first episode of the Somewhere in Hawaii of the real guests. And today, we have Lachlan as our guest. But before, I guess, we jump into the actual episode, we'll just say hello. This is Eugene Kim, and I'm with Pauline Wong and John Buckland. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Do you guys remember this episode? It seems like such a long time ago. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like last week we discussed about, making change. Well, I guess preparing for changes in the plans and everything. And with Lachlan, we were hoping to do 2 episodes with him, like 2 full hours. But, obviously all these guests are doing us a favor in terms of, in their busy schedule. And we were really only able to have him for like just over an hour. So we kind of divided into 2 episodes for that one. Today's episode is kind of explaining about, for people who's been listening to us, probably heard about, us 3 met at Banff and NAC, and with that was hosted by Focal. So this episode is pretty much going to explain what that is, what Focal is, who is Lachlan. If you guys already know Lachlan, you can say hi. But yeah, like it will define a lot of things. NAC stands for not a conference. It's mostly the workshop and just meeting fellow photographers. So yeah, hopefully you'll be able to catch everything on the episode. Anything that you guys want to add?
Other than the fact that I like how not a conference it's what it's called. Because I don't know if you guys remember Taylor Jackson's video where he was like taking name suggestions, and I think they were just too lazy to change it. So
The not conference just stuck.
yeah,
Basically.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, he doesn't know what the name is. So it's like, for now, we're just going to name it not a conference. And then, yeah.
Okay.
Nobody thought of a better.
no, there were some good suggestions in the comments. So I think I think they were just too lazy to change it at that point.
I completely missed that. Yeah, but yeah. Well, hope you guys enjoy. And just so you guys know, like a heads up, me and John are Focal clients in terms of we have websites and everything. So we gave our thoughts at the end as well. So yeah, if you're interested, tune in for that one. Okay, enjoy. All right, well, we have Lachlan, CEO of Focal.
Hi.
Can wave. Hi.
Happy to be here.
Have you ever done any kind of like a real, I guess, in-person podcast before?
I have actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have at the Opryland in Nashville. It's like the weirdest thing. We were sitting on a balcony with Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And it's but it's a balcony inside of the hotel.
Yeah.
And it's tropical rainforest inside, and there's a waterfall. only in Nashville.
That was a whole indoor setting as well, right?
Yeah.
Even though it was balcony, right?
Yeah, it's actually inside, but it's pretending to be outside.
Yeah. This is part of the we have a Somewhere in Hawaii series. So I don't know if you know, but first of all, I guess we have a huge thank to you and Focal and the whole NAC setup and everything. So us 3 actually met in Banff. And then we got really close and we decided that we'll do the podcast together. So
It's so amazing. And it really is. It's one of the coolest things about the NACs, the NACs, seeing you guys here, seeing new friendships like this one come together. I heard from a lot of the local Hawaii photographers that came that they are kind of lonely, even though they're on Maui and they know of the other photographers, and them just getting to come out and meet other people face to face, that they've kind of been in competition with, and they actually meet them and they're oh, they're so nice. I want to be friends and help each other out. And then now they're talking about coming to Banff, which is so exciting. And it's really interesting. It's actually kind of I don't know, interesting in a way, because obviously the NACs are about coming and building portfolio and taking photos, but they're also like so much about the connection and the personal like relationships. And I'm having this weird thought right now because I'm very tired. But my thought is that that is a very interesting like comparison to photography, because half of it is about the photos, half of it is about the personal connection, in my opinion. So
yeah, I think that we definitely felt that way, and that's why I think it kind of resonated with like our like personality as well. I think in a sense that we're, you know, like we also felt very lonely in our own little bubble, and you know, even though John and I were both in Vegas, we never met before, like until Banff. So, so you know, in that sense, it's kind of nice to get that sort of like community together. I guess while we're talking about NAC, how did this whole thing start off as? Like, I know, well, I guess we should talk about like, what is Focal in the first place? Like, how would you describe Focal? Like we sometimes say it's a website builder. Yeah. But would you say that's the accurate description? Or, I mean, you do so much more than just...
It's definitely accurate. I mean, if someone asks me what Focal does, I always tell them that we're a company that loves helping photographers. You know, one of the ways we do that is we make it very easy to set up a website in minutes. And, you know, using AI, you can start taking payments really easily, and just trying to break down some of the barriers that it means to be a business, and a photographer. But for me, it's actually very clear. It's all about helping photographers in any way we can. The website's being part of that, the NAC being part of that. Yeah. Hopefully that's a good answer for you.
Yeah, I think that's great.
So how did the conference come about?
Oh, the NAC. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I blame Sam Hurd 100%. Sam, and I think it actually started with Sam putting it in Taylor's ear, and then Taylor putting it in my ear. And I'm really guilty of like, anytime somebody gives me an idea, especially Taylor is full of ideas, I'm always just like, okay, let's like roll with it. And it's like one of those things where I think Taylor has lots of ideas and he's throwing them around all the time. And like, we just do a lot of them when he puts them out there. And the whole idea was that we met Sam at WPPI, we met Scott at WPPI. We had such a great experience with them, getting to know them, and all of those like relationships were built like in hallways. They were like hanging out in hallways, maybe after a talk, or hanging out at the Focal suite. It was never like listening to somebody talk, and that's really what the whole concept of Not a Conference is about. It's like, how do we build on more of those moments where you get to build personal relationships with people that are, you know, like-minded, and that you can feel connected to, and also do something really fun, like go out and take photos in Maui. So I guess that's kind of how it got started. And I give a huge amount of credit to Sam for kind of putting that idea, I think, in myself and Taylor's ears.
Something we forgot to, I mean, again, we didn't know, so we didn't really thank Sam for it. We said, we thanked Taylor, saying like, you know, like Focal and Taylor putting the NAC together, how we met and all stuff. But Sam was right there as well.
He was doing all the announcements and all.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam has been really instrumental, and even with each NAC, we try to learn and see what we can do better. And even this one, we tried to have a little bit more break time for people to have an opportunity to have those conversations, even if it's like go, like one shoot to another. Sometimes like that can be pretty hectic. And even the next ones that we're starting to think about, we're like, hey, how can we even like build on that concept even more? How can we make more of those? And I think like Melissa talked about this in her talk about sort of respecting Hawaii and the islands and the locals. And I think her slogan term was make room for magic, or make room for magic to happen. And I actually think that's something that I want to make sure we continue to build into the NACs. And, maybe in my mind, I think it's really important that you guys always have amazing sets and brides and couples and models to be taking photographs of. But then at the same time, it's, I think, really rewarding to even just go hang out somewhere, eat food, have lunch, or sit at a bar and just make make room for that magic to happen, right? Like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really important. It's like it's a good chance to build community. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we definitely enjoy the NSC as a whole. Just like this is always the second time attending for us as well. So to see the faces of people we met at Banff was, yeah, even though like we live like really far away, never see each other, it's always kind of nice to meet those people and connect on a different level. And now it's like, I think this podcast is another thing, like now they're kind of joining in and, following into it. And we're kind of thinking maybe in the future, we may be able to change the format a little bit to bring more people into it. So yeah, I think that'll be pretty cool. So I guess, one thing that I want to kind of go over is probably like the NAC is non-profit.
It's negative profit.
Was there like a reason? Like, did you just want to make everyone just more accessible and stuff like that, or was there a bigger reason behind it?
Yeah, I really appreciate you asking that. The whole thing about it is that there are a lot of photography conferences out there. There's a lot of workshops. And when we started doing our research about how they operate, you see the history of like sort of workshops cropping up, being around for like a couple of years. A lot of the time, the very first one is really good. Yeah. They put a lot of effort and time and money into it, and maybe even run it at a loss to make sure that it's really great. And then after it's great, they like run it again, but then they try to cut some costs and like make it profitable. And that was never the goal for myself or Focal or for NAC. It's always been, obviously like, let's sell tickets to put on a NAC in Maui, and let's take all of that and like, let's reinvest that back into the NAC and just put on the best thing that we can possibly do based on the ticket sale budget. And that's like not even including the effort from, the significant effort from a number of members of our team and myself that goes into like putting on the NACs. We're really excited to bring Sarah on as our NAC manager. Sarah has an assistant named Rose who is amazing. There's a lot of resources going into NAC. And the reason for that is because it's so important to me. And building community is so hard, like really hard. It's like, you can't just wake up and be like, oh, we want to build community. Like it really doesn't work that way. And I think the only way it does work is starting with like a really solid and genuine like foundation, which I'm sure you guys have experienced, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, you can't just wake up one day and be like, oh, we're going to put on like an event or workshop or a conference and it's just going to build community. It just doesn't happen like that. My whole perspective in life and in business is like, you try to give first, and that usually results in good things.
Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I am a Focal customer. So it's like, because when I first joined the NAC conference, it's solely based on because of Taylor. But seeing how you guys work, I definitely, I guess you guys built up trust. That was the NAC is a big part of me signing up with you guys, with Focal, is seeing how you guys interact with me, and then all your team members. I felt like I was, being treated like, not just like a normal person, not just like a client or whatever. But I feel like we are all friends, and definitely connected with everyone there. So that was a big part of me becoming a client.
Thanks, John. No, it warms my heart hearing that. And I mean, that's another reason we put these on. It's such a great opportunity to like hear from you guys, see how things are going. We love to check in with you. And I'm glad you mentioned just like, we really care about knowing everyone on a personal level. I think that business should be personal. It is in photography, and it's an extreme in the photography space that business is so personal. And I think that companies within the space need to share those values.
Cool.
So since the inception of, not a conference, has it changed since then? Like what you thought it was going to be? Like how did you even decide Banff was going to be the first location?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think we chose Banff because it was our backyard and we knew that it was a beautiful place that we wanted to invite people to. And same with Maui. It's a place I've been to Maui. This is my 3rd time. It's so magical. We're sitting here on the beach. We're looking at the ocean. It's the bluest water. It's warm. This morning I went out snorkeling, saw some sea turtles and octopus. You can't beat it. And I think it goes so far beyond just like coming here just to take photos. It's also like, I just want to show you guys this place. And even like last night at our wrap up, like, there's so many people that came up to me and were like, Lachlan, like, thank you so much for doing this in Maui. It was like on my bucket list. This gave me the excuse to do it. You know, I brought my whole family here, or I brought my partner here. We're having such an amazing time. The NAC was great. But it's part of me wanting to share, I think. It's like, I love Maui. I have a personal love for Maui. I have a personal love for Banff. These are places that I want to share. And I think as we build on it, it's really fascinating hearing from other people saying, hey, like, I would love to share my place too, my home or my favorite place. And so we've had people say, you know what, come to Vietnam, come to Sarasota, Florida, come to Ireland, come to Italy, come to Paris. Like, and I think there's just this inner intrinsic need to, you know, want to share things with people that you love. And there's a deep appreciation and connection when it resonates with them too, right? For people to come to Maui and be like, yeah, wow, Lachlan, like, thank you so much for bringing us here. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, that's priceless, right?
Great.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Any question for us? Last question.
Yeah, I guess like I'm really interested to know like what does Focal like mean to you guys? It's cool that you're doing this podcast. It's heartwarming that you come to NACs. It's heartwarming that you want to have me here. That's something personally that I would be interested in hearing.
I'll go last.
I'll go first. Focal is like a family to me. This is a big help for my business. Like helping me build my website and helping with everything SEO and also with building my portfolio. Definitely helped me jumpstart my business. I met Eugene because of Focal on a conference. And being a new photographer, it's like a great tool for me, basically. So a family that helps me, basically. That's what Focal is doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. I really appreciate that. It's good reflection for me too. It's like me reading my own reviews, you know? It's good.
So I want to speak on the Not a Conference.
Sure.
Because I've actually attended many photography workshops before, but not to do with weddings or couples. It's mainly landscape. And so this is my first like wedding related one. And the reason why I always like to go to workshops is because I get to meet other photographers. So that was my main purpose. And we've already talked about it, but just like the coming together, like this is the second time. It was like a reunion. It's like, it was so exciting. So yeah, that was my new family again.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Pauline.
Okay. So, Lachlan knows, but I had just launched my website back in 2020. What is it? 2022 January, and I met Lachlan in March. So I was like, I wasn't going to change my website, but after talking to Lachlan for a half an hour or so, I think probably a little bit more than that, during WPPI of that year, got to learn how much I feel like we connected in terms of not on a friends kind of level, but in terms of like how we had similar values in business and had similar sort of like outlook in terms of where we want to go with, like in the next 5-10 years kind of thing. And I felt like Focal was approaching, and Lachlan was approaching in that sort of similar manner that, like that I would love to be part of. So from the day one, I've always said Focal is like the business partner that I always kind of wanted to have. So it has very different feeling to all the other sort of other companies and websites and services that I use. Focal has that more sort of like John said, it has a family vibe to it. Like it really feels like a business partner. I wouldn't say like I'm always 100% satisfied, but I think that's always the process. I think that's always, you can never be 100% satisfied with anything, You know, even the weddings that I shoot, it could never
Especially
be
if you,
100%.
especially to Eugene.
Yeah. Okay. But I think it's like you guys always make the right decision. Like, you know, like I don't have to even give you feedback in terms of like, I want this to be improved, like, or anything like that. Like, if I wait just a little bit longer, it comes. So it's like, I always feel like I'm in the right track in terms of like where you guys are going. And, like, you know, like it's always, you know, this is the second time meeting you this year. So it's always nice to just have a chat and just see where this whole book's going. And, you know, seems like we're always sort of like heading in the right direction. So yeah, it's definitely been more than just a website builder. It's always kind of weird for me to describe you guys as a website builder because obviously it means a lot more than that. Yeah. So yeah, there you go.
And for me, you guys are local to me anyway.
Yeah,
I always support local companies. So
I really appreciate you guys all saying that. It means the world to me to hear that, and it's so important for me to hear that. And I love that you guys touched on family, because I really think of all of you like my family, and I care about you like my family, and I want to take care of you guys like my family and my friends, and I want to see you guys succeed. And if I can do that, it's very rewarding for me. It's the best thing in the world. Yeah.
Well, I know Lachlan has to get to the airport, so we'll wrap up there. But thank you so much for being part of the
You're welcome
today.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. That was fun.
It was pretty. No, I mean, like we thought when we started the podcast, we never thought we'll have a guest on it, just because we were going to be running as more like a topic based and things like that. But yeah, I mean, like having guests on, and it's pretty surreal to have a CEO of Vocal on it. So. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I can't
All right.
complain. I get to sit on the beach.